is court ruled. Plaintiff, please state your case.
I am Leona Siha Alex, accusing my family, immigrated from Greece in 1893. We came to America packed like cattle on a steamboat to seek new opportunities that didn't exist in our homeland. My husband, Costas, got a job working at the Drexel, Morgan and Company in New York. We lived in a tiny one-room apartment with our 3 children, and the sanitary conditions weren't the best. 6 years later, the company, Drexel, Morgan and Company, was bought out by this heartless Robert Barron who raised the working hours to almost twice what it had been before and increased the dangers of the job. Work got harder and harsher to a point where his health was being affected. Costas died 2 years later, getting crushed by a steel beam. I have evidence that the owner, J. P. Morgan, knew of the dangerous crowding issues in the workroom and could have prevented this accident and others like it if precautionary measures had been taken. I would like to sue John Pierpont Morgan for $1,000 for emotional distress, burial costs, and the costs of life without any source of money.
My name is Christopher O'Connor. I'm a 23-year-old bank worker for J.P. Morgan, and the fact that your husband was killed by steel doesn't mean that it was J.P. Morgan's fault. Why don't you try suing the architects who made a faulty design?
J.P. Morgan knew about the faulty design and crowding issues, and it becomes his fault that it wasn't fixed.
Stankovic, and I moved to America from England 30 years ago with my family, and I am a Protestant. I support J.P. Morgan's side of this case. I have lived in America almost my whole life, and things were just fine until the Poles, Irish, Slovaks, and Greeks started immigrating. Since the beginning of their immigration, I have joined the American Party, also known as the Know Nothing Party, to help stop this Roman Catholic swarm of people. John Adams said in 1821 that a free government in the Roman Catholic religion can never exist, together in any nation or country, and he is completely right. Our party believes that an immigrant should have to wait 21 years until they can become a naturalized citizen. There is no reason that us nativists should be in fear of our jobs, and if this was in effect before, your husband would have never gotten killed to begin with. J.P. Morgan is not to blame for this accident because he didn't run the company, he just bought it out. Due to J.P. Morgan's success in the banking industry, America has shaped into one of the most powerful countries in the world. Immigration hasn't done anything to help except the fact that they are okay with getting paid for cheap labor because overall they were better off in America than they were in their home countries. Since the immigration started, slums can easily be picked out in the cities, and America has become a mixed salad rather than a melting pot. I couldn't stand it anymore and have since left the city life altogether because I have worked to make myself and family wealthy and moved into the sunny rural suburbs.
I am not Roman Catholic. I am Greek Orthodox. And the reason we are not a melting pot is because of your prejudices against us that prevent us from becoming one group.
First of all, madam, I am not a robber baron. I am one of the greatest captains of industry ever. Actually, while we're speaking, I am making American history. I have more ownership in this country than the Congress itself. I have helped to put people in office at the benefit of the American people. Although your husband sadly lost his life in a horrible but common accident, you can't simply pin the chance of accident on a man that helped your man get a job and support your family. I have invested my money into the generation of electricity and engineering. I am a main reason why you can go home at night and still see. You have to understand, in my company, the largest company ever, you are signing an implied contract when you decide to work in the steel industry. It is strenuous and dangerous work, but it is assumed by the worker they have knowledge of the conditions. In order to get where I am today, I have had to work my way up the chain. I bought out several other corporations to eventually become the person owning the richest company in the world. One thing I haven't succeeded to do as well as Carnegie and Rockefeller is being a great giver of my wealth. You can call them philanthropists if you want, but I still have the biggest impact on American history. I am am sorry, MRS Judge, but I will not be able to agree to these atrocious terms and will not pay your fees of burial because I do not do this to any of my other employees and I don't give preferential treatment.
Worker for JP Morgan. I know that I was treated well with good pay for the economics of this time. I truly believe that JP Morgan is a very good captain of industry, and your husband was lucky to work for him. I am terribly sorry for your loss, but this is not JP Morgan's problem to be worrying about.
After looking over the case, I believe the defendant not guilty